Hey family, it's Tasha MAMABEAR Prepping. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. First, I just want to say welcome back to the channel, those of you that have been supporting me for a while. But first of all, second of all, I guess I should say second of all, we have a ton of new subscribers, almost 1,000 of you guys in the last week and a half. So thank you, welcome. Thank you for subscribing and welcome home. And I'm glad you're here and I hope you're enjoying yourself. And I hope you're enjoying yourself going through the playlist and seeing some of my older videos and different topics that I've discussed on this channel. So today we are going to kind of do a little bit of basics and just talk through some stuff. As you saw from the thumbnail, right, we're talking about a horde of panic people. We're talking about a group of panic people. How do you prepare for that? You know, a lot of times people ask me, you know, where do you start? And if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know what I'm going to say, baby. Food, water, meds, food, water, meds, food, water, meds. That's where you start, right? And from there, you know, you venture out. Then you start thinking about, okay, well, what do I need? What do I need to stockpile in my supplies to make my quality of life easier during a time frame when we have no power? And to expand that on going from, you know, okay, we just need to make sure we have the basics for a short period of time with no power to a much longer, long-term without power, and then eventually growing to and transitioning to a possible time where power doesn't come back for forever, right? We're taken back. And that's something major happening, like EMPs, something major, right? And so that's what I tell the baseline of where I tell people to start. And a lot of folks, they start with the type of things that happen in their area, right? A specific, like, hey, I'm in hurricane area, I'm in a tornado area, I'm in earthquake country, I'm in fire country, whatever. And you are starting with preparing for that event, which then in theory, if you think about it, you're doing exactly what I just told you to do and concentrate on, which is food, water, meds, and preparing for a situation that finds you with no power, which if you're preparing for a hurricane, you're preparing for these different events, you are doing those things, baby. So do not feel overwhelmed. There's a lot going on in the world. It's very easy to get outside of yourself, right? To listen to the noise. I mean, it's all around us, all in our face. There's different things you can do. Hey, I'll turn off the news, or I'll turn off social media, or I won't listen to this for a while, or I won't do this for a while. And that stuff is all well, but it's hard to get away from because this is the world that we live in, these things that are happening around us. And you have to not be a sheep in the sense of just saying, oh, I'm going to ignore it completely and I'm just going to prepare. That's okay, but you need to not be naive in the sense of you want to be paying attention still to what is happening around you, around your country, and around the rest of the world, to be honest as well, because what is happening around the world helps you make decisions, critical think about big picture items, and to be honest, things that can come our way. Maybe they're not here yet, but they're happening in another country. For example, countries that don't have weapons, don't have any way to arm themselves, protect themselves. That's crazy to me. I can't imagine us being a country like that. A lot of folks will tell you that will never ever happen. And so that blows my mind. So that's an example, is you have whole countries that were disarmed, and there's all types of things that they have to deal with now because they have no way to fight back their government, be any kind of real threat, right? And therefore, if there's no threat, they can just run rampant and do what they want. So I went a little left or a little dark there, but you know, hard times are ahead of us, and certain events could happen where you're going to have to deal with people, the dangerous people, and people that maybe weren't dangerous before, but they become dangerous because they become desperate. They're desperate and dangerous. What's the next thing? You should be working on your security. What can you see outside your home? What eyes do you have outside your home? What deterrents do you have set up? Basic stuff, your windows, your doors, your points of entry, your gates, your fence line, your perimeters, you know, your motion sensor lights, your cameras, stuff like that, right? Hopefully thinking about grid down as well in that theory. Hey, do you have some CCTVs? Do you have something that you'd be able to set up to still be able to see outside your home without power, you know, and making your own power to do that? You know, what do you have in regards to that? And then a little bit further, what is the fortification thing? Where's the barriers? Where's your fields of fire? Where's your funneling aspects? Where's your points of entry that you know people will try to enter your property? And what are you doing to deter them, to stop them? Cover, concealment, all the good stuff as far as protecting your home, defending your home. It becomes a little bit more than defending, because at first you're just kind of defending against basic thieves, basic people who are just trying to take advantage. They're looking for unlocked items, unlocked gates, sheds, doors, windows. They're looking to just walk your property and steal whatever they can get their hands on and walk away with in order to barter, make money, survive, right? Trade for food, whatever. So even stuff that's just out and about in your yard, you know, and it becomes you possibly dealing with that type of person, somebody jumping fences to get a tomato, right? Somebody jumping fences because they saw some boots on the back porch, whatever it is, right? And you go from dealing with that type of people, that smaller amount, onesie, twosies, maybe a small little group, you know, of teens jumping fences, stealing stuff, right? But you go from that to the horde problem, to the horde of panicked people, desperate people. Desperate people are dangerous. To groups of people, to scavengers, to it being something a little bit more. And that's where that fortification comes in. You know, how now are you stopping somebody from easily wanting to jump over your fence? You know, is it the old-fashioned board with some nails and you plan to tack that to the top of the fence line? Is it barbed wire or some sort of wire? Is it just something, wood or whatever product you have that you're just going to use to make your fence higher, right? Maybe you have some extra lattice laying around. You just pop that up on the top of, then nail it or staple it up to the top of the fence line just to increase it by 2-3 feet, right? What can you do to just make somebody say, you know what, that's too much work, it's too much trouble to get over the fence? Yes. Does it make you a target? Somebody's like, okay, they went through a lot of trouble, they must have something good. We're just gonna do the extra effort to get over. Yes, possibly, but that does all types of things for you. It does deter a lot of people, lazy people that don't want to do anything. And then you're dealing with maybe a smaller amount of people. You are maybe still dealing with onesie twosies that are deciding, hey, there must be something good. I'm gonna figure out how to get over, or I am gonna get over. I'm gonna go the extra mile, and you'll just deal with them accordingly. But from there, that horde of people, this is what you have to really be mindful of. There's two, not types of hordes of people, but there's two timelines, if you will. So you have your immediate panic people, horde of panic people, and you have your kind of like, you know, a next wave, if you will. So the immediate panic people is almost the type where something happened and it's happening and you're in the middle of it, and you are actually realizing and seeing the people around you panicked. They're in the store, they're scrambling, they're getting this, and that is what's making you, it's immediate and it's so fast that you were actually finding out what's happening in the moment or in the midst of people panicking, right? Something has happened like that. The world has changed like that. People are immediately panicked, immediately fearful, scared, panicked, buying everything, trying to get cash, trying to get trying to get their hands on anything, medicines, everything, right? And real people too. This isn't like your thieves and stuff. This is the whole, everybody, right, is panicked, trying to they're thinking about their family, their situation, the things that they don't have, the things they still need, the things that are going to be a problem. Oh, I'm on my last cigarettes. Oh, I'm on my last medicine for my child. Oh, I needed to get this. I never got this. Let me go get it. Oh, I didn't get cash. Whatever it is. Oh, I need to get gas, right? Those people. But it's immediate in the sense of it's already happening by the time you and the average person, even like we're all finding out at the same time. And it's so extreme that people immediately are reacting because they immediately identify how bad it is and that, holy crap, we need to do something, right? And that's big stuff. That's nuclear bombs dropping. That's, you know, EMP. That's no power, and like the internet is out. Nobody has internet. No, like nobody. There is no, you know, people. Oh, okay, I lost internet. No big deal. Well, you start checking different stuff. There's still some social media. You still have internet, maybe with your phone. You could still see stuff. But I'm talking about like everything is done. Everything is dead. There's no comms. People would immediately know, okay, maybe they don't know what's happening, but they know something's happening. Then the other horde of people is like the second wave. I say this is like a lull. Maybe it takes 24 hours. Something happens. People are kind of just chill. Okay, we've lost power. No big deal. People are calling, trying to figure out how long it's going to be off. You know, okay, it's inconvenient, right? The kids are complaining there's no power. Yeah, maybe some more heightened preppers, whatever, saw something else. They saw some flags. They're like, oh, this could be something else. Maybe you're getting news somewhere, intel somewhere, that, hey, something has happened. But, you know, you're going to have still that group of people that are like, okay, it's fine. We're going to just go through this. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to get through this event. And they're just going to roll forward. And then after that first wave, I say 24 hours to 48 hours is kind of the, okay, what's happening phase where people start to realize, okay, what's happening? Are we still going to just deal with this for a couple weeks? Could you know, is it about to be over? Are we going to last for a couple weeks? It's going to be super uncomfortable and inconvenient? Or is this something like much more serious where we should have been like on the ball with stuff and getting survival items right away because we have nothing, we have not prepared? And then that group and that wave of people finally, it sets in and they're like, oh, we got to do something. And all of this is really dependent on what is the event that happens? What happens? What exactly happens? And there's a lot of very, very scary things that can happen that people are not tracking, obviously. Maybe even preppers are not tracking in the sense of not expecting it to happen. And then all of a sudden it happens. You know, we could have a CME or a solar flare come that people really aren't paying attention to. I mean, we pay attention to CMEs, pay attention to solar storms, pay attention to the levels. You know, you get complacent. Even as somebody who prepares, you get complacent with putting stuff in Faraday cages or making Faraday cages, whatever the case may be. And then something happens and then it's going to be like, oh, wow, here we go. I know exactly what's happening. Here we go. Life's about to change. And at least those people would immediately react. I say all this because you guys are probably like, okay, well, but how do we prepare? Well, you are preparing, literally stockpiling, getting ready, literally to get ready for those group of people. The first thing is you don't want to be one of those people. You do not want to be out. Do not be out in the streets. You should not be getting extra food, water, meds. You should be not trying to get that extra gas or that extra can of gas. You should not be trying to get, oh, let me see if I can get some extra cash. Oh, I needed to do this. Oh, I needed to do that. There should be nothing else going on except getting your family home. Maybe you're out getting kids, getting family members. Okay. But other than that, you are not on those streets because nothing but bad things. People are at their worst state that they possibly have ever been in their lives and trying to react. And people are going to be fighting for stuff and there's not going to be ways to get stuff. And you're going to have rioting and mobs and pushing and shoving right away, just mass chaos right away. And you do not want to be in it because dangerous stuff's going to just happen from being in the middle of chaos. That's just the way it's going to be. So the first thing is you're not out and about. The whole reason why you are preparing is so you do not have to be that knucklehead that's out talking about, I'm going to go get a couple more things of gas. No, if you didn't get your gas yet, baby, have another plan then because it ain't gas, okay? Whatever you were going to use that gas for, you do not need, okay? If you were planning to bug out, leave, whatever, you should have already had your gas for that situation. That gas should have already been got, should already been staged where it needs to be for you to make that trip. And you should be actually on the road headed to wherever you're going if you're going to bug out, which, to be honest, for most people is not what you should be doing. From the average person, that you should be bugging in and staying put where you're at and riding out the wave. That initial wave of this panicked people, the initial wave of the dying time, which is the first 6 months, you need to just be getting ready to hunker down, close it up, lock stuff up, get safe. And maybe you're moving some stuff in your, depending on the event, the next thing you're doing because you're home is you're either putting up extra fortification and ensuring the security. Maybe you're putting your double locks on your gates. Maybe you're putting your double locks on your sheds, whatever you're kind of heightened, right? And this is something maybe you're not doing this early. Maybe you're waiting a little bit to kind of see what happens, but you're at home and you're doing the things at home that need to be done. Maybe there's some preps that need to be moved. Maybe you have some stuff in a shed or a garage or a barn and you want to move it in. Maybe animals need to be moved. Maybe pets need to be moved. Game changers. Maybe now the chicken coop needs to have all the locks on it. What exactly are you doing? There could be chores and different things that have to be done in the home. Maybe an EMP or something hit and now you're trying to pull everything out of the Faraday cage, get it set up so that you can hear what's going on, because maybe there's no comms and you're just simply trying to set some stuff up so you can get some sort of information. Maybe you're not though, because maybe there's a second wave if it's an EMP and you want to be careful with that, right? What are you doing exactly is what I'm saying. Maybe you're setting up and getting your solar system together and ready for your CCTVs and switching it over from your internet security cameras that were on the internet to your CCTVs that you have some other way to power up and running, right? What is it you're doing? But you're at home kind of assessing, getting intel, getting everybody home, figuring out what's happening, trying to assess what's the big picture. On the two-way radio, trying to figure out and understand on the shortwave what is happening. Get what news is coming in. And if nothing is coming in, nobody has internet, no news is coming in, no intel, there's no radios, you can't get a broadcast, nothing, baby, and you have a radio that you pulled out of a Faraday cage that you're pretty certain is still good in the sense of it turns on and it works, but you cannot find any news, any broadcast anywhere, and all the everything, there's nothing, there's no TVs, there's no nothing, baby, I'm not wasting time like, what's happening? Asking the neighbors, what do you think it is? No, okay, I'm assuming the worst. I'm assuming that it's an EMP. I'm deducting from what is happening and watching the flags, and we are determining our threat level, and we are immediately getting ready because time is everything. You being ahead of the group is what is going to matter, right? You know, you read these prepper books, you read these books of, you know, SHTF and all the different stuff that's happening in the chaos, and you're like, what a dummy, or why'd they do that, or they're wasting time, or, you know, always saying this alien movies, people are like, what's happening, and aliens are like attacking me, and I'm like, man, I would have already been in my house, putting boards on the windows, getting hunkered down, making sure we have food, water, meds, all the things we need in the house, putting up the windows, you know, locking stuff, getting inside, getting away, don't know what's going on. Who is trying to, it's like black people. Who's trying to just wait around and see? You already sense that something very, very bad is happening. So you should not be just sitting around like, well, I'll just wait till somebody comes and tells me what's happening. I don't think so. That's not how survival works. Those folks that just sit around and wait are going to die. Period. They're going to die. The people that are panicked and desperately trying to find stuff, most of them are going to die. Some of them are going to make it. Miraculously, there's some people that still make it. The people that is zero preparedness. But the reason why they make it is because they have an ability to adapt. They have a skill set to adapt, to change, to be on the ball, to you know, engage in the right people. Like they have good skill sets as far as leadership and smarts and figuring it out and teamwork, and you know, they have those adapting skill sets that are going to help them in this type of situation. And so those are the folks that are going to make it. Yeah, is luck for some of them? Sure. But you should already, because of what you do, because of what you track and watch, and the reasons why you prepare, and the stuff that you're learning on the internet, and you're learning and reading and getting knowledgeable about, you should already kind of have first of all, you're already a critical thinker. And so you should already have a heightened sense of being able to tell, oh, this is not right. Something is bad. Let's shift now to total survival. How do we better ourselves? I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting extra locks and fortification and getting ready for something. And if stuff subsides and stuff comes back and whatever, fine. But you have wasted time if you're just like, well, I'll just wait 24 hours. Or I'll just wait 36 hours, 48 hours to just see what's happening. You know, I don't want to freak out. You're not freaking out. You're just hunkering down and locking down the hatches, if you will, of your home that you plan to defend. And time, it matters as far as being able to defend it and be ready to defend it, right? And not be out like a chicken with your head cut off trying to get last minute stuff, cash and gas and meds and all this stuff, food, water. That's not the time to do that, right? It's not. If you don't have it, you don't have it. What you have is what you have, and that's it. And the level of your personal safety and security, when you go out and decide, well, I don't have something and I'm going to try to go to the store and get that, it's too late. And you're putting your own personal safety in jeopardy. And those stats go way up in the reality of whether you will come home or not to your family. So as a parent, you really want to go out, risk your life, and, you know, get hurt, get killed, and don't come back to those children. That's not a good thing. Your best thing is to stay with your children, with your family at home, and start preparing to hunker down and to, you know, get your threat levels up and start working your emergency plans. I mean, that's the point, is starting those emergency plans right away while everybody else, the horde of panicked people, is doing their thing, okay? They're just going to do their thing, and it's going to go downhill from there, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed just this kind of open dialogue of different things. You know, with all the new subscribers, I'm getting a lot more emails about just some of the basic questions. And sometimes it's hard for me because I'm like, you know, not that I'm rolling my eyes, but I'm like, okay, well, I've obviously talked about this a lot. But then I realize it's new people. It's new people that have just found me. So for those of you that have been here for a while, please be patient, you know, as we cover some of these basic things again, because it's important. We all need refreshers. We all need to be revived as far as not being complacent and thinking about the basics. So hopefully if you've been watching me for a while, hopefully if you've been preparing for a while, or maybe you're already on a homestead, you're already living a self-sufficient life and you're on that journey, continue to do that. Continue to push information to people, continue to help people. Leave the comments, because again, a lot of people watch the video and then they read the comments. I read the comments from time to time, and I absolutely learn stuff every time I do read them. So please do that. Please leave comments and help people understand stuff. If you see a question, somebody asks a question and it's something you know the answer to, just answer it, right? Because I don't always see it, and I'm not always going to be the one to have the opportunity to answer them. Okay, so I hope you guys are well. We have fantastic weather here right now in Western Washington. It is super sunny. Weather is warming up. You know, I have pretty much everything planted. I think I still have to get my pumpkins started. I'm about to put the cucumbers in the ground today. And other than that, let me see, pumpkins, the cucumbers. Oh, and the 2 big beds. I'm still waiting to get my final delivery of dirt so that I can put in my carrots and my peppers. So anyway, I'm almost done. Great weather. It's supposed to be 87 here, you guys, on Monday. That's super hot. Well, it's not super hot. It's going to be the first super hot day, I guess you could say, or the beginning of hot days for us here. So super exciting. Just lots of sun, lots of laughter. It's a good week. Hubby's not here, but he's about to come back here tomorrow. So super excited about that. I hope you guys are well. I will be having a video coming next week about doing a meal in the jar, freeze-dried foods, using freeze-dried foods and putting them in a jar for a 1-jar type meal. I found a book. I posted that book on my Instagram. So if you're not part of my Instagram, please go over, check out my Instagram, follow me over there. But I posted a picture yesterday of this book. It's amazing. Me and my sister, we did our first meal. We did the beef rice-a-roni. Amazing. I'm actually going to cook it when hubby gets back, and then I'll do the video next week so that you guys can get a full picture of how I made it, my thoughts about the book, my thoughts about preparing and keeping food in this manner, right? And preserving food in this manner and keeping it in this manner. I'm going to tell you about the ingredients and my thoughts about that. And then I'm going to talk about obviously how it tasted. Was it good? All this stuff and all the resources and stuff that you can do to get into this if this is what you want to do. It's just another way of preserving food, and I actually think it's pretty genius. So super excited. Let me know, especially if you're new, let me know what you're trying to listen to, hear about, want to know about. A lot of stuff I've already had videos. So if you literally put in Mama Bear Prepping and then the topic that you're trying to look for, and see what videos pop up, because I do have a lot of stuff. I do have playlists as well. You can check those out in different topics, so you can check that out. And then, of course, if you'd like to dive a little bit deeper, or you want to support me in a more monetary value type of way, you can follow me over at Patreon and come on over there. We have about 70 or so patrons now. It's super exciting over there. We got our own Discord, just having a good time. I absolutely love it over there. I do videos 3 times a week over there, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So with all of that, that was a lot. I hope you guys stay well. Blessings from, my bear cave to yours, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.